Hi, I'm Ralph Bass, author of the book Back to the Future, a commentary on the book of Revelation. I want us to look at Revelation chapter 1 and verse 1. In this verse, we will get an introduction, of course, to the book of Revelation. It says, the revelation of Jesus Christ, which God gave him to show to his bondservants the things which must soon take place. And he sent and communicated it by his angel to his bondservant John. I want us to address this word communicated. It is a Greek word pronounced semino, and it means communicated or signified. Now, a lot of people will try to define this word by breaking it down into sign-i-fied. And that's a pretty good explanation, because what we're talking about here is signs. In other words, we're told right off the starting block that God has communicated to us in this book by means of signs. So if we're going to understand it, we have to first of all understand that a great deal of what we're going to read is signs. Now, we're told by some that the book of Revelation is to be interpreted literally. And only if you can't find a literal interpretation should you then look for some type of metaphor or simile or symbol, and sort of as a last gasp effort to make sense out of the book, then embrace the idea that there might be a sign here, a symbol of some type that conveys meaning. But in fact, we're told from square one that it is a book of signs, and that we shouldn't, in fact, use this approach because it's really foolishness. In other words, we have to look at the genre of the literature to get some idea of how to interpret what we're reading. For instance, if we're reading in Psalm 3, and it says, "But you, O Lord, are a shield about me," we don't take this point of view that we first look for the literal meaning, and only if it's utterly not available in the passage do we find ourselves reduced to accepting the symbolism in the passage. In fact, we read this passage in Psalms, and we hear that our Lord is a shield about us, and we instantly see the symbolism. We recognize that he's our protector. We don't look at, for God as being a physical metallic shield, because that's the literal interpretation. But we instantly recognize, because we're reading poetry, we should look for symbolism. Well, in fact, when you're reading apocalyptic literature, very much like poetry, you're going to find massive amounts of symbolism. So if you use this foolish point of view that looks for everything utterly and absolutely literally, and then only at some later date, when you can make zero sense out of the book, do you condescend to consider the symbols, you're always going to get poetry or apocalyptic prophetic literature wrong with that approach. And we're told right out of the starting gate that the book of Revelation is communicated or signified to us. It's filled with signs, it's filled with symbols. And this whole approach of looking only at the literal, and if you utterly can't do the literal, then you look at the symbol, is foreign even to our modern life today. If somebody were to tell you, stop and smell the roses, I don't think you would stop the car, pull over, get out on your hands and knees and smell roses. I think you would instantly see the symbolism, and that somebody is giving you some counsel, some advice to slow down and enjoy life. There'd be no question. You wouldn't first attempt the literal, and if that wasn't possible, then the symbol. You would instantly understand that a symbol is given to you here, and that the real meaning of the author was found in the symbolic message. And so it is with poetry, so it is with apocalyptic. The real meaning of the book is found in its symbols. So let's take a look at several passages in the book of Revelation, which in fact show us exactly how God is himself writing this book and the symbols he's giving us. Revelation 1:20. As for the mystery of the seven stars which you saw in my right hand, and the 7 golden candlesticks. The 7 stars are the angels of the 7 churches. Aren't they just literally 7 stars? No, there's a symbolism here. They're the angels to the 7 churches. Let's go on and look at Revelation 4:5. Out from the throne came flashes of lightning and sounds and peals of thunder, and there were 7 lamps of fire burning before the throne, which are the 7 spirits of God. Are we not here talking about literally 7 lamps of fire? No, that's a symbol, the symbol of the 7 spirits of God. Revelation 5:6, and I saw between the throne with the 4 living creatures and the elders a lamb standing as if slain, having 7 horns and 7 eyes, which are the 7 spirits of God. What about this lamb and these 7 eyes? That's literally 7 eyes, right? No, it's a symbol, the 7 spirits of God. Revelation 5:8, when he had taken the book, the 4 living creatures and the 24 elders fell down before the Lamb, which each one holding a harp and golden bowls full of incense, which are the prayers of the saints. But we have literally bowls here full of incense, right? No, it's a symbol. Prayers of the saints is what we're talking about here. Revelation 12:9, and the great dragon was thrown down, the serpent of old, who is called the devil and Satan. We have a literal dragon here, do we not? This is literalism? No, we don't. It's a symbol of Satan, the devil. Let's look at Revelation 17:9. 17:9, yes. Here is the mind which has wisdom. The 7 heads are 7 mountains, on which the woman sits. 7 heads, literal 7 heads, now symbolic of 7 mountains, which are themselves symbolic of a city. Lots of symbolism here. Revelation 17:12. The 10 horns which you saw are 10 kings. 10 physical, literal horns. That's what we're talking about. We are not talking about that. We are talking about 10 kings. Revelation 17:15. And he said to me, the waters which you saw where the harlots sat are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues. Water means water, doesn't it? No, it doesn't. It's a symbol of peoples, multitudes, nations, and tongues. The woman whom you saw is the great city. A woman's a woman. Physical, biological woman. No, a symbol of a great city. Now, I gave you all of these illustrations to drive home a point that so many people miss. The book of Revelation is clear from the opening verse. This is a book of signs. This message has been signified to us. And all these illustrations hopefully will open up your mind and say, wait a minute, from one end of this book to the other, we're constantly given something that could be interpreted literally, but if we did, we would be foolishly missing the point. And in each of these cases, God has gone out of his way to just spell out the symbol. He doesn't always go out of his way to spell out the symbol, so we have to be in tune with the message, just like we are in the Psalms, that these symbols are to be looked upon as what they are, symbols, and we must ask ourselves, what are the truths that are being taught to us in these symbols? And don't use this wooden and foolish approach that just utterly destroys the meaning of the book as we make symbols into literal things and end up with mass confusion. Thank you. Bye.